Right, hi, in this brief video we want to talk about something that Prudentius, Aurelius Prudentius, a 4th century Christian writer. Hi, in this brief video I want to give the account of Prudentius. Prudentius is a 4th century AD Christian writer who lived in Saragossa in Spain, and he was a favourite in the courts of Theodosius. Right, and he gives an account of the Battle of Pollentia. The Battle of Pollentia was a battle that took place in northern Italy, and it was one of the 3 great victories that the Magister Militum, Stilicho was a Germanic Gothic commander, Magister Militum, and he defeated the hordes of Alaric. And it was Stilicho alone who could stop the Germanic hordes. And after the stupid son of Theodosius, Honorius, executed Stilicho, after that Rome was sacked, and the western part of the empire, the western part of the Roman Empire, was in decline, as opposed to the eastern part of the Roman Empire, which endured in time. So the Battle of Pollentia took place in 402. So here's what Prudentius, the 4th century AD Christian writer, has to say about this. Long since a Getic king, so Prudentius uses an anachronism. He calls the Gothic king a Getic king. And the Geti are not Germans. So not long ago, since a Getic king came from his native Danube and essayed to wipe out Italy, having sworn to raze these strongholds to the ground, destroy our gold-roofed buildings with fire, and dress our toga-clad nobles in skins. So he's comparing the Roman aristocracy with the northerners, the northern barbarians. Already in our onward march he has trampled down Venetia's lands with his squadrons and laid waste the riches of Liguria. So the Goths had already, coming from Greece, they had already raided parts of northern Italy, and was pressing hard on their fair countryside with a deep Po, and passing the river on the soil of Tuscany. But it was no watchful goose that drove away those clouds of horsemen, revealing a peril that was hidden in the darkness of night. But the rude strength of men, breasts shattered in the clash of battle, a spirit that feared not to submit to death for its country and to seek glorious honour through its wounds, did that day too bestow its great reward of valour by Jupiter's favour. To lead our army and our power we had a young warrior. So by he means the Emperor Honorius, who was still in good terms with Stilicho, the Magister Militum. Mighty in Christ and his companion and father, Stilicho. Well, Stilicho was a sort of regent. He was not the father, actually. And Christ, and the one God of both. It was after worship at Christ's altar, and when the mark of the cross was imprinted on the brow and the trumpet sounded, first before the dragon standards went a spear shaft raising the crest of Christ above them. There the race of that 30 years that plagued Pannonia was at last wiped out and paid the penalty. Bodies of men who once enriched themselves by the ill-famed plundering now lie piles in heaps. Thou wilt marvel, posterity, in later ages, at corpses lying unburied far over the ground, which have covered the fields of Pollentia with their bones. If I was able to lift my head from the desolation of ashes after I was laid low by the hands of the Gauls, a Camillus return, still smoking as I was, I received back my standards with a smiling face If I could wreathe my sad ruins with garlands, and gird my listing towers with bay, with what feelings shall I take thee to my heart, most valorous emperor? What flowers shall I scatter, and what wreaths set my halls, with what trappings hang my gates in celebration? For the great war has not touched me, but whilst thou didst stand under arms, I have been free, and the Goths' invasion only reached my ears. Mount the triumphal car, take thy spoils, and come hither with Christ by thy side. Let me take my chains from off you captive thongs. Drop the manacles that long bondage has worn smooth, ye troops of matrons and young men. Let the old man be no longer a slave in exile from the home of his ancestors, and the child begin to know himself reborn, now that his mother has come back to his father's house. Begone all fear, we have won the victory. Now we will leap with joy. So, in this, in his work, A Reply to Address of Simonos, Prudentius, the 4th century AD Christian writer, describes one of 3 great victories that Stilicho had over the hordes of Alaric. Prudentius.